Hey there guys, how's it going? I am here on Minecraft real quick. Wanted to give a quick little tutorial, I guess, about Embers Rekindled. I realized that I was looking it up and I noticed there's not really anything in terms of documentation about how to auto-craft some things using Embers. And I did actually manage to figure something out. This, for those curious, this is Project Ozone 3. We're on Mythic mode right now, so this shit's kind of difficult. And the reason I even cared about figuring something out for Embers is because if you're at the stage where you finally got to Psy and you're making chaos ingots, you realize chaos ingots need an immense amount of chaos catalysts. So you're probably eyeing that creative chest as well, and it's like, oh well shit, how many do I need? Just to get there you need 4,312 chaos catalysts. Not so bad, right? All the stuff you can, relatively craft easily. Amber stars and bamboo might take a while, but it's these damn flame barriers that take the longest. We're talking about a minute to craft them every single time, and if you're trying to do that manually to make that many flame barriers, that's going to take a long ass time, considering you have to put in the materials one by one, etc., right? It's just not only that, but you also need to put an exact amount of ash piles within the asbestoses. It gets ridiculous. What I managed to figure out is that you can actually have this autocraft in itself for a very long time. Case in point, I already have up to 1,700 plus flame barriers inside the ME terminal, and that's amazing. So how do we do it? Well, first things first, uh, you want to set up your alchemy pedestals to receive items. In this case, we're using energy condensers filled up with ash piles, but wait, there's more, because if you try to do that, it's just going to fill up with 64 every single time. When you're going into the... I'm sorry, when you're pumping in an item through the item conduit, you want to go to the insert side, right? If it would just open, please. Ah, it's scuffed. There we go. So when you're in the item conduit on the insert side, you want to make yourself a limited item filter. What those actually do is that it lets you insert a specific amount of items, in this case ash, into the item pedestal without going any more than that. So when you're doing that, every single time this finishes crafting, it will pump in 25, at least for me, it might be different for you, ash piles within those alchemy pedestals. The next thing you want to set up is not so much an autocraft, but more of you can pump things in using item conduits again on the sides, right? Each side of the exchange tablet has an inventory of 64. The thing is, you notice that, hey, where's the top bit? How is the top bit getting stuff? If you go underneath the exchange tablet, you can actually pump in from the bottom, and it counts as pumping into the middle slot. So you save yourself a little bit of trouble there, makes it look a little bit nice. I'm just using diamond chests because I'm dumb and I didn't change them to energy condensers, but if you're at this stage, just use energy condensers if you're going to do forever crafts, right? Now the next thing, if you're just going to let this go forever and ever, you're going to want to go and grab something from RFTools. In this case, the Redstone Receiver and its companion, the Redstone Transmitter. For the Redstone Receiver, you're going to want to hook it up directly to your beam cannon, so that little arrow right there is pointing towards the beam cannon. And then you're going to take an RFTools Redstone Transmitter, right-click on the receiver so you have a channel, in my case, channel 27, place it down wherever the hell you feel like it, and attach a timer to it. This is from Dark Utilities. If you're Project Ozone 3, you have it. You can try using maybe an hourglass for Botania. I didn't try using that. It might have the same effect. Hell, you could probably even use some logic gates. One thing I didn't notice, though, or I did notice, is the timer from RFTools does not work. I tried it, it just wouldn't let me do it. So, when you set up your timer, it's going to start you off with 20 ticks a second. For me, I have it set to 800 ticks a second, which is like 36, 37 seconds every time. I can't do math right now. 40 seconds? The reason I have mine so high is because if you look at my sky, there's a lot of tick lag going on, and you can probably notice that it's just like bouncing around, back and forth, blah blah blah. So when you set yours up on a single player world, take into account it's going to take a minute for this to craft, and it's going to take maybe 5 seconds for the item conduits to correctly fill up your alchemy pedestals with the amount of ash. So mess around with this. Once this timer... Also note, you need to mess around with it at halftime, because when it ticks on, it doesn't proc this, but when it ticks off, it'll proc this and it'll start the autocraft. So mess around with it. That's why I have it 800. You could probably set it to 600 or something. Maybe 600, 700. Play around with it. Once you set all that up, every single minute and a half for me, it'll start the craft. So right here, it's about 10 seconds away from doing another craft, probably less because of my tick lag on a multiplayer server. So once this ticks, man, that's a long 5 seconds, right? I'm sorry. There. It'll tick, it'll go off, it'll do the craft on its own, it'll be picked up by an absorption hopper when it's done, pumped into our computer system, and you're golden. And that's really all it takes. Surprisingly easy for something like Embers. Now, you're probably looking at this setup and you're like, what the hell is this? This is if you want to auto-craft something. It is way too complex for me to explain in this video, but it's set up to make Ember clusters, Ember crystal clusters. Literally just... But we can only craft one at a time, that's the problem. So when I actually do this craft, it'll fire off using nameplates, and boom, there you go. I might have another video for this one explaining how the hell we managed to come up with this monstrosity, but that's for another time, and maybe not even ever. So for now, enjoy the fact that you can actually automate it. The biggest thing here is that you want to make sure you have your limited item filters pumping in the exact amount of ash and the alchemy pedestals. You want to take advantage of all sides, including the bottom of the exchange tablet, to pump in items. You want your Redstone Receiver to hit the beam cannon. You want your Redstone Transmitter to be receiving a timer from a Redstone Pulse from a timer. And you got yourself a very simple autocraft system for pretty much anything within Embers. So if you want to craft, I don't know, 1 billion of, like, eerie insignias or something, go for it. If you guys find a better way to do it, I would love to hear about it. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for joining me in the quick tutorial thing. Bye-bye.